Ever notice that guy in your neighborhood who looks like he shops exclusively from Walmart clearance racks, drives a car straight out of the Jurassic era, and yet somehow owns half your town? Yeah, because it turns out he's probably a millionaire. So what's the deal? Why do so many millionaires appear completely broke, and how in the world do they actually spend all that money they seem to not have? In this video, I'll share with you a secret. If you can understand it, your entire outlook on money and how you spend it just might change completely. What I'm about to explain is something related to stealth wealth. It's a concept we've discussed in previous videos, but there's an entirely different side to the story that needs to be explained. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the mysterious millionaire next door. And to be honest, at this point, I think it's time to forget the shiny Lambos, Gucci belts, and gold-plated toilets you see on Instagram. Because things are about to get real, so without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Number 12, they don't spend to impress. Okay, look, millionaires aren't exactly losing sleep over what you think of their wardrobe choices. Seriously, you might be wondering, but isn't that the whole point of being rich, to look the part? Well, for a lot of self-made millionaires, the short answer is nope, not at all. It's not about sporting a designer label on every inch of your body. It's about managing money in a way that makes you feel comfortable, secure, and ready for any opportunity. Now, since I've gotten several comments on this topic, why does this even matter to you? Well, if you're constantly trying to impress your circle of friends or random strangers on social media, you can easily sabotage your financial future. Every dollar you spend on flexing, like that fancy watch or brand new sports car, could have been a dollar invested for bigger returns. The best part? Millionaires know that if they keep their costs low, they don't just look humble, they also become unstoppable saving, investing machines. All right, now, let's be real. The kind of people who need you to prove you have money by sporting fancy labels are usually not the people signing your paychecks or awarding you any medals. So unless you want a bunch of Instagram likes from people you've never met, there's not much benefit to extravagance. Looking broke is basically their superpower. It keeps them under the radar while their net worth keeps quietly multiplying in the background. Now keep in mind, that was just the first reason on this list. I'm just getting started. Listen carefully. What I'm about to share next is the foundation behind everything I mention in this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. 11. Stealth wealth. Hiding in plain sight. Let me hit you with a cold hard truth bomb. Rich people who look rich are amateurs. The fact is, it's easier to build wealth when everyone thinks you have none. And this is what I'll explain to you, so listen closely. Actual millionaires are all about that stealth wealth vibe. So how does stealth wealth work? Let me give you an example so you can fully understand. Remember the classic billionaire, Warren Buffett? This guy still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. Seriously, I think Buffett's furniture might be older than my grandparents'. But here's the genius behind this madness. People who flaunt wealth attract attention, both wanted and unwanted. Taxes, lawsuits, relatives coming out of nowhere to borrow money. Nah, millionaires are playing 4D chess, folks. They prefer to remain quietly rich. But what exactly do millionaires secretly spend their money on then? Spoiler, it's not bottle service at clubs. It's something way cooler. 10. Investing in assets, not flash. Keep in mind what I'm about to tell you. Millionaires who appear broke aren't just shoving cash into a mattress or storing gold bars beneath their floors. No, they're obsessed with assets, things that actually make them money. Real estate, stocks, small businesses, you name it. Assets are their secret obsession. Remember that scruffy dude sipping budget coffee next to you at Starbucks yesterday? Surprise! He probably owns the Starbucks franchise itself. For example, you ever noticed how the moment some people get a raise, they instantly buy a new TV the size of their entire living room wall? Meanwhile, millionaires are slipping their dollars into real estate, stocks, or businesses that actually make them more money. Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying millionaires don't enjoy the occasional splurge, but the real trick is that they do it after locking in their growth opportunities, like real estate or profitable investments, so that splurge money can get replenished. Think of it this way. Consider your money like seeds. If you keep planting them in fertile soil, you'll eventually have a forest. But if you chuck them in a bottomless pit, like an over-the-top car payment or a brand new phone every year, well, you're left with nothing but regrets and a monthly bill that never ends. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments so I know what to make our next video about. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, let's get back to the point. Millionaires know this fundamental truth. Flashy liabilities like sports cars and designer shoes depreciate faster than crypto after a tweet from Elon Musk. But hey, does that mean millionaires never splurge? Oh, they absolutely do. But their kind of splurge looks a whole lot different. 9 millionaire splurges you wouldn't expect. All right, so we've been talking about how millionaires appear broke, wearing old t-shirts and driving average cars. But here's the kicker. When they do splurge, they do it big, but also smart. Maybe they take their entire family on an epic vacation, or they quietly buy a hobby farm or a vintage car they've always loved. The difference? They do it without going into debt, and typically only after their money has earned the right through investments. My friend's dad was a self-made millionaire and used to buy the cheapest 12-pack of soda, but once he cashed in a big windfall from selling his company, he took the whole extended family, cousins, grandparents, neighbors, on an all-expenses-paid Caribbean cruise. People were stunned. They always assumed he was strapped for cash, but no, he just never felt the need to flash it. When he spent, it was for something meaningful, creating memories that last forever. Forget Rolexes and Ferraris. Millionaires splurge smart. Their extravagant purchases usually involve experiences, education, and, wait for it, personal chefs and housekeepers. Just stop and think about it. Outsourcing tasks like cooking and cleaning gives them the one thing money can't typically buy: more time. And for millionaires, time is literally money. Your broke-looking millionaire neighbor isn't cheap. He's just busy converting hours into cash flow. Speaking of psychology, ever noticed how millionaires never pay full price for luxury goods? There's a juicy secret there too. 8. Luxury goods, pre-loved, please. And this is a very important point because I see many people confuse the words cheap and efficient, so pay attention. Millionaires love luxury, but not at retail prices. They'll happily buy a used luxury car with barely any mileage for half price. Why? Because they understand value depreciation. They let someone else take that initial hit. It's like buying a banana that someone peeled halfway. It tastes exactly the same, but is suddenly half off. Genius, right? But there's something even stranger about how millionaires live that makes people convinced they're secretly broke. The clothes. Number 7, fashionably unfashionable. If you've been following me for a while, you already know that I don't like to sugarcoat anything. If Mark Zuckerberg's hoodie and Steve Jobs' black turtleneck taught us anything, it's this. Millionaires couldn't care less about impressing you with their wardrobe. Here's the real deal. Millionaires understand that chasing fashion trends is like running on a financial hamster wheel. You never get anywhere and you just end up tired and broke. Clothes don't make money, investing does. That's why most millionaires stick to basic, timeless, and cheap outfits. It's not being cheap, it's being smart. But wait, how come they never brag about their money? Isn't half the fun of getting rich to show it off? Not quite. 6. Silence is golden. Literally. Listen carefully. I'll give you a golden piece of advice. Millionaires understand this crucial truth. Bragging invites unwanted attention and envy. The loudest person in the room usually has the smallest bank account. Millionaires silently stack wealth behind the scenes. While everyone else is busy flexing on Instagram, real millionaires quietly run circles around them, at least financially. Keep in mind, there's another key piece to this puzzle: how the wealthy structure their day-to-day budget without feeling like they're pinching pennies. Spoiler alert, it's not by obsessively cutting out every small luxury, but by practicing a specific budgeting method that'll blow your mind. Number 5, they use a pay yourself first budgeting method. Now listen, you've heard it a million times. Save, save, save. But how exactly do you save when life keeps throwing bills, random fees, and that must-have limited edition coffee mug at you? The answer lies in the concept of paying yourself first. Millionaires often funnel a chunk of their income straight into investment or savings accounts before they even see what's left to spend. Think of it like sneaking the best slice of pizza before anyone else gets a chance to open the box. Instead of waiting to see if there are leftovers at the end of the month, which rarely happens, they stash the money immediately. That way, no matter how many random expenses pop up, the saving and investing portion is already handled. It's hard to explain this in detail, but just picture this. Let's say Jane has a high-paying job, but she's always broke. Why? Because she waits until the end of the month to see what's left. By then, she's been to brunch 12 times, bought 6 pairs of shoes, and discovered a new subscription box for artisanal pickles. Don't ask. Meanwhile, her millionaire neighbor Mark earns less than she does but invests $1,000 the second his paycheck arrives. Over time, Mark quietly builds a nest egg that dwarfs Jane's bank balance. So why does this matter? By paying yourself first, you're basically forcing discipline. You're also training your mind to live on what's left instead of allowing your lifestyle to inflate with every raise or bonus. It's not about living like a monk. It's about ensuring your financial future is funded before your Netflix subscription. Oh, and guess what? Once you get used to it, you'll barely miss the money. It's like automatically ordering a side salad with your meal. After a while, you don't even question it. It just becomes part of your routine. Now, speaking of routines, how do millionaires keep a tight lid on expenses that most of us never even think about? Warning, this next part might make you reevaluate your monthly bills and possibly cringe at your last credit card statement. Number 4, they track and negotiate expenses like a hawk. Ever take a close look at your credit card statement and go, wait a second, when did I subscribe to a monthly Sock of the Month club? It happens to the best of us, but millionaires are ninjas at tracking every little leak in their finances. They aren't just penny pinchers. They're strategic about where they put their money. For example, a friend of mine, Kyle, discovered he was paying for 3 separate music streaming services. Instead of ignoring the duplicates, he canceled 2, negotiated a better rate on the 3rd, and funneled the savings into his stock account. It's a small amount monthly, but those small amounts add up big over time. I need you to understand this clearly. Don't underestimate the power of negotiating. From your cable bill to your gym membership, a quick phone call or a polite email can sometimes shave off a chunk of your monthly costs. Millionaires regularly do this. They'll call up their insurance company, their cell phone provider, any recurring bill to see if there's a discount or promotion available. So what's the power move? This isn't about being cheap. It's about running your personal finances like a business. And guess what businesses do? They trim unnecessary expenses to boost profitability. If you think about your household that way, you'll be amazed how quickly you find free money to invest or save. Little known fact, a single negotiated discount can be worth thousands over your lifetime. That's like skipping a fancy dinner, but you don't even have to skip anything. You just have to ask for a better rate. But here's an intriguing plot twist. Millionaires spend a fortune on something even more unexpected, and that's mentors and masterminds. Number 3, paying for expertise. This is one of the most important points, and unfortunately, it's also one of the most common mistakes I see young people neglecting based on just pride and ego alone. Pay attention to this because I want you to listen closely. Millionaires constantly reinvest their earnings into improving themselves. Coaches, masterminds, seminars. High achievers know that investing in personal growth pays the biggest returns. While the broke look rich to impress strangers, the wealthy look broke because they're too busy quietly getting richer. Now here's the $1 million question. Why are these ultra-rich folks so dang frugal when they clearly don't need to be? Number 2, they respect money deeply. Millionaires genuinely respect money because they understand what it takes to earn it. Most millionaires weren't born with silver spoons. They earned every cent. This respect drives them to be disciplined spenders, knowing a careless attitude toward money can evaporate wealth quicker than a Netflix binge. But there's one final secretive reason millionaires look broke, and it might shock you the most. Number 1, millionaires value privacy above all else. Here's what you need to know. Millionaires deliberately avoid displays of wealth to protect their privacy. True wealth isn't flashy, it's private. They realize wealth and security mean anonymity. After all, real power doesn't shout, it whispers. So next time you see someone looking broke yet acting strangely confident, maybe think twice. They might just be quietly laughing all the way to the bank. Listen, if you enjoyed uncovering these millionaire secrets, do me a favor. Annihilate that subscribe button and gently, lovingly, punch the notification bell to never miss out on life-changing finance secrets again. Share this video with a friend who's flexing a little too hard on Instagram. Trust me, they'll thank you later. Now, speaking of stealth wealth, want to find out exactly how millionaires invest secretly behind the scenes? Check out this video right here. It's about to blow your financial mind. We'll see you in the next one.